Can you really travel Australia for $1 a day? That's what campervan relocation companies claim, but we're here to see if it's really true. Rental vehicle relocations. Is it worth it?
So rental relocation works by actual rental companies needing their vehicles relocated. It's as simple as that.
So for example, with this one, this is from Indie Campers, and their factory is in Melbourne. They kitted out this van in Melbourne, so when we picked it up, it had 30 kilometres on the clock, and they needed it taking from Melbourne up to Sydney.
So what we did is we went online, went on the iMover website, and just looked for vehicles that needed relocating from where we were to where we wanted to go. So, pros and cons. Pros. It's $1 a day.
And also, had we taken the flight from Melbourne to Sydney, we wouldn't have been in some of these amazing places. Right now, we're surrounded by kangaroos, wombats, and possums right in the countryside with no data, no signal at all.
Brilliant.
You get to try out different vehicles. So we have tried camping in a tent. We're about to try a 4x4 at our next stop. We've never had a campervan before, never stayed in a campervan before. So it's given us the opportunity to try that out and see if we like it.
So another perk of campervan relocation is that everything is included. So we've got our bedding, but all our pots and pans, even washing up liquid and tea towels. And something you need to be aware of is that if you leave the van dirty or you don't empty the wastewater, you will be charged a very high fee. So you do have to be careful.
Just a touch on the toilet as well. There is a cleaning fee for the toilet, and they want it cleaned. And they don't just mean they want it emptied, they want it clean. And I'm not scrubbing no poop out of no pot. So we decided not to use it in ours. There are some cons though. So first of all, depending on who you hire through, you may have a mileage limit. So for our Melbourne to Sydney, we've got 1,000 kilometres, which doesn't leave a lot of room for doing your own exploring.
Another con is that it is very last minute. This was arranged the night before we needed to leave for Sydney. They can also cancel last minute.
Yes, so they can cancel whenever they want. They can cancel the day of. If they've got someone that's actually wanting to rent the vehicle from there and they call up in that morning, then they will cancel. They'll try to get hold of you, but we've read online sometimes people just turn up and the vehicle's already gone.
Another con, which doesn't actually matter for us because Ryan is used to driving all sorts of vehicles, but had this been me on my own, I would have felt really nervous to drive a vehicle this size, and so that could be a con. They're massive. Well, some of them you can get a mystery vehicle, you don't even know what you're going to get.
Yeah, so it could range from anything from just a car up to a massive motorhome. Another maybe con, maybe pro, depending on the rental one you go for. Some of them have fuel included. Some of them don't. Ours didn't, so we have to cover the cost of the fuel. And there also is a booking fee of $50.
So although it's advertised as $1 a day, there are some hidden costs.
So there's a booking fee of $50, which isn't a massive amount, but it's something to take into consideration. You'll also be asked to pay an additional $75 as a holding fee, which you will receive back once you deliver the vehicle. When you pick up the vehicle, each broker will be different, but with this one we had to leave a deposit of just over $3,000.
This would have been cheaper had we booked the premium insurance. We didn't, we just went with the basic insurance that's included. Had we gone with the premium insurance, our bond would have been $800. So there's a big difference. That $3,000 we get back within 5 to 7 days of dropping the van off, if there's no problems.
Yeah, so if your sole purpose is to just try and be budget friendly, just take the included insurance. It doesn't cover a lot of things, so if there is any damage, you will probably have to fork out.
When we picked up the van, the guy who picked it up from said, if, for example, your windscreen was to be damaged, which is the most common because of kangaroos, go and get it repaired yourself before taking it back. Don't take it back with a damaged windscreen because they charge you extortionate amount.
I think he said around $2,000 for a windscreen, but you could probably get it for about $500.
If that.
So the $50 booking fee is how iMover makes money.
iMover is the broker and Indie Campers is who we are doing the relocation for. So Indie Campers make no money, but we're doing them a service by relocating the van, and iMover is providing that service to Indie Campers, and that's how they're making their money, through the $50 booking fee. So total cost, everything taken into account, we had $1 a day for 3 days. So $3 plus $50 booking fee. The $75 holding deposit we get back, and the $3,000 bond we get back, so won't include that. So the only other cost is fuel, which has cost us to get from Melbourne to Sydney, which is about 850 kilometres. It's going to cost us in total about $230. So total cost, $283.
If we were to leave it there, we probably would have said our move is okay depending on which vehicle you get. But tragedy has struck. We end up getting stranded in the outback with a 4x4, and with no help from a certain hire company that rhymes with Pamper Pie, we had to make our own way back to Sydney. So, having already done an iMover, we thought it's going to be the cheapest way to get back. So we looked online and we found one to get from Brisbane back to Sydney for 3 days with unlimited mileage and $100 fuel. And this is what we've got. So ignore this. So this is what we got. So we've got a bed up here, which slows all the way down. I won't do it because it's a pain. You got the seating area here. It is a bit of a mess because we've pretty much just chucked all our stuff in the back because obviously we just couldn't really care less at the moment because we want to get back to Sydney ASAP. Little cooking area, swivel seats, which actually make a massive difference in here because it is very cramped. Had then been swiveled the other way around. Yeah. But yeah, without the swiveling, you're really cramped and you've not got much space. But you have got a TV. You got the usual, you got your aircon, your little seating area, and of course, your toilet and your shower. Now, of course, with the difference with this one is we didn't, because it's not brand spanking new like the other one, we are allowed to use the toilet if we want to, we just have to empty it. But again, just in case they turn around and try and charge us for something, there's no point using it. So now we've done 2 iMovers, and we've had a good experience with one with no mileage and one with mileage and free fuel included. And I think it's fair to say that if you get one with mileage included and fuel, it is one hell of a deal. We booked this again 2 days before we collected it. iMover were great, they responded very quick next day. Of course, you still have to put your $3,000 holding deposit and all that stuff, but you do get that back. $50 booking fee, $3 to the Star RV company whose caravan this is. Well, I think it's a brilliant idea.
So, if you have $3,000 deposit that you don't mind waiting a couple of weeks to get back, and the flexibility to book last minute, iMover could be a great option for you. That's all I really have to say.
Side note on that one, Star RV, when we picked up this vehicle, the people, super friendly, super helpful, really nice people. We had to drop back a hire vehicle back to down the road, and actually one of the workers behind the counter there went in his own car and followed us down and took us back. So I can't rate them enough either. All in all, this rental has been incredible. iMover, Star RV, it's a thumbs up from us.
And if you don't know about our other channel, go check it out on RK Backpacking Drone of all the drone shots of our travels.